Hey guys, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the goals I set for myself in terms of online selling for 2015, and also maybe a little bit of an epiphany I had as far as how I'm going to go about achieving those goals, or hopefully achieving them. At the end of last year, as I was looking ahead to 2015 and what I wanted to do in terms of online selling, I kind of came up with some goals for myself regarding my Amazon sales and my Etsy sales. Those are the two main places I sell online. I do sell some stuff on eBay, but it's really very sporadic how I list things on there, so it's not really a main source of income for me. That's just kind of a little extra side thing. And I kind of just came up with some numbers that I thought I would be happy with. In terms of Amazon, my goal was $800 in gross sales per week. And then for Etsy, my goal was $200 in gross sales per week. And so that doesn't really mean $1,000 of income coming in each week, because there are fees and there are the cost of buying things, of course, so, and other, supplies and things like that that have to be taken into account. But I felt like with those numbers, I would be pretty comfortable with and making a decent amount of money. I used to think about with FBA, how many items I was sending out. I used to kind of keep track of it like that, like, oh, I got to get at least like 50 items out a week, or whatever my target was then. But then I realized, like, if my goal is not in number of items, if my goal is in, a gross sales and a dollar amount, then my goal, my target, I guess, for what I want to actually send off to Amazon should also be in a dollar amount. I mean, it seems like common sense, but for some reason it took me a little while to figure that out. So starting this year, I start keeping track of what I'm sending in, and as I'm putting together a shipment or adding things to an Amazon shipment, I keep a running tally of the estimated selling price. Prices do fluctuate on Amazon, but I figure if I can get, at least $1,200 worth of stuff shipped off each week, I'll be okay. And I think most weeks I've shipped over $1,200, but I have met my $800 goal so far each week in terms of gross sales on Amazon. And some weeks I've been well over it, so I'm pretty happy with that. Now, if you've been watching my Etsy videos and my What I Sold on Etsy weekly video that I do, then you know that I have not met my $200 per week in gross sales on Etsy at all so far this year. And so as I was thinking about that, I was like, well, maybe, I gotta figure out what I'm doing on Etsy. I really had fallen behind on listings, and I'm trying to get caught up on that. But once again, even though I, had my epiphany about the Amazon sales and how I had to start thinking about what I was sending in differently, it only was this week that occurred to me I really have to think about my Etsy listings in terms of dollar value of items. And I didn't think like that before. I kind of had an idea in my head that, my goal, which I didn't always do, was like to list or relist 12 items a day. And I didn't usually meet that. But 12 items a day, I mean, some items are much less money, some items are much more money. If my goal for earnings is $200 gross sales, shouldn't my listing goal be in terms of dollar value of items as opposed to number of items? And it seems like such common sense, but for some reason it took me a while to figure this out. So yeah, as we go into this week, I have switched up how I'm doing things, and I'm actually keeping track of the value of the items I'm listing, so that I've set a goal, and I've really just kind of pulled this number out of the air. I don't know if it's feasible in terms of will I be able to list this many, and I don't know if it's really going to work as far as getting my $200 a week in sales, but I have set a goal for myself to list or relist $400 worth of inventory each week on Etsy. Now, depending on the dollar value of the item, that could be a lot of items, and right now I am not finding a lot of vintage stuff. I live in a place where we have winters. I live in Pennsylvania, so there are no yard sales, there are no rummage sales, there are much fewer auctions over the winter. Things really do kind of slow down and shut down here. So in the winter, I mean, really the only place I've been picking up vintage stuff is at thrift stores. And if you've watched my last thrift store haul video, and even the one before that, I'm not finding a whole lot of vintage stuff out there. And in fact, yesterday while I was out, doing my grocery shopping, I decided to go to a thrift store. It's probably the closest one to me. I don't go there that often, and in fact I hadn't been there, I guess, in a couple of months. It's a few minutes out of my way, and it's very small. It's a very small thrift store, but every once in a while I do find some nice stuff there. So I went over there yesterday and found out the place is closed. They apparently shut down the store. I don't know what the story is, but yeah, so one less thrift store to find stuff at. And in fact, last year we lost another one that was pretty close to me, and that one used to be a great source of vintage stuff. So in terms of meeting my goals, I'm gonna have to figure out what to do. There are some auction house auctions, and in fact I'm thinking of going to one next week that it's close to me. I've never been before because I've never been that impressed by the stuff they show on the website preview on AuctionZip. But I'm like, I gotta give it a try. I looked for the next upcoming one, and they have a couple of things there that look like they might be decent. So maybe I'll see some more stuff when I'm there. It's not that far away from me. And then I'm looking at a couple more coming up later in February that look like they'll have some decent stuff. They're a little further away, but gotta fill that Etsy store with stuff. I am right now going through some stuff I had stockpiled in the attic, stuff that maybe it's like awkward to ship things, or things that I had to maybe like sort through to put them together into sets, or just some other things that I kind of tossed in a box and said I'll get to them later. So I do have some backlog that I'm getting through, but I'm getting to the end of the backlog, so I really need to get out there and find some more stuff if I want to meet that $400 a week items goal. And that's new things that I'm listing, and also stuff that I'm renewing that's expired from the Etsy shop, the relisted stuff. But I think with my weekly videos, my weekly what I sold videos, I'll also tell you, how much items I listed, how much dollars worth of items I listed that particular week. And I'll see. I really don't know. This is my first time really thinking about it like this, and so I'll see how that impacts sales, if it has any impact at all, if it, works towards getting me to the goal or not. But yeah, that's just what I'm looking at for 2015. So I hope you're doing well, meeting your goals, or figuring out ways to try to meet them. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, so please share this video, give it a thumbs up if you like it, comment, let me know how you're doing in terms of reaching your goals. And yeah, I will definitely get a video out next Friday on what I sold, and how much dollars worth of items I listed, and I'll keep you updated. Okay, thanks guys. Happy selling, everyone.